Good. I want honest people. Then we can work something. Your fear from your passion of this world is also based on your fear of this world, right? Because people fear what other people are going to say. You fear not having things. You fear it's based on that. Meaning, how do you change this emphasis that you have on the dunya towards the akhirat? This is when the sohbat is important, not just sitting down to listen a couple of minutes once a week. You need to be in the company. You know that you want to change. How do you change? We accept this dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I put more value on one wing of a mosquito than I do to this dunya. We know that. We know that this dunya, it is the lowest of the low. We know this dunya is an enemy. So what you're trying to say is, how do I make this dunya that I always thought of as a friend, I'm keeping very close, to become an enemy? So your eyes have to open. Your senses have to open. Your way of looking at things, they have to change. If you are a drug addict, all you do is taking drugs, and all your friends are also drug addicts, and all you go to in the world is to places where people take drugs. Even if you want to change, you cannot change, because you're still taking drugs, you still hang out with the same people. Understand? Even if you want to, and you swear you want to, what do you need to do? You need to stop that. You need to come out from that situation. You need to hang out with different people. You need to go into, if anything, into what? Rehab. To rehab, into a kind of a seclusion. Completely far away from all these things. And you're going to sit down and you're going to think about your life. Correct? Part of that rehab is also that. Think about your life. Why? What happened? Why do you need to take this? You need a lot of analysis, a lot of questioning. What do you think is going to happen on Judgment Day? It's a lot of analysis, a lot of questioning. Allah is going to ask, why you did this? You remember this? This is shown why you did that. And you cannot lie then that time. You cannot escape that time. And so how are you going to change now? Not only people of the dunya, zahir people also, who have no idea of spirituality, that the whole idea of religion now is just the shariat. Whole idea of religion now is the do's and the don'ts. You need to take yourself out from that situation. And you need to be around the people, the ahli zikr. This is command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's saying, if you need to know something, ask from the ahli zikr. Those who remember Allah much. How many more alims are we going to say who said, I would have perished if I didn't sit in the company of the people of Tassavuf? Because the people of Tassavuf, they question themselves. Why I did and why I'm going to do. They don't go through things blindly also. They have doubt about everything that they do too. You understand? And when they say La ilaha illallah, they have doubt about that. That's why they say La ilaha illallah more. They have doubt of that. They say La ilaha illallah more. Those are the ones that Hazrati Rabia Adawiya is saying. Those are the people who are really saying Astaghfirullah. Because if you say Astaghfirullah in ghaflat, you're committing a guna, you're committing a sin. Because you're saying Astaghfirullah, but you don't mean it. It says for that reason, your Astaghfirullah needs another Astaghfirullah. So this is very simple. Then that time, you see, how do I change my heart? First, find the people that their hearts have already changed. And those people also, their hearts didn't change because they read something. They see some video, or they went through all the same process that you did, more or less the same, and they come to that conclusion. They're holding on then to a guide. Then they say, okay, you're believing, you're holding on tightly, then you're going to start unveiling now. Your heart will start unveiling. 70,000 veils between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now you start unveiling and you start understanding the realities of things. You think this is real. You think this is real, but you touch, it's nothing there. Then that time the dunya that you have made for yourself that seems so real, then now you start looking in the eyes of the salihin, that Allah says, be with the salihin. You start looking things with their eyes and you say, this is not as it was before. You start tasting, it's not the same way. You start feeling, it's not the same way. So now you start looking, you start touching, you start walking now, not with the senses of your nafs, not with the senses of this dunya, but you start looking and feeling and tasting now with the senses of the awliya Allah, of the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which he is saying, this is Hadith Qudsi. My servant, he becomes beloved to me. When every order that I give him, the orders I give him, he starts doing. He becomes beloved to me. But he comes closer to me. He starts to know me. Coming closer means starts to know Allah. Not just beloved. Like a child that you may have, you say, do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. The child follows. And that child becomes beloved to you. Correct? But that child is not close to you. The child doesn't know you. He's just following your orders. When the child becomes close to you, when he starts doing things that you didn't tell him to do, but you know you want that to be done. So now he starts to know your heart. Before you say something, he already did it. Before you say something, he's already not doing it. Say, oh, that means this child is becoming closer to me. He's looking into my heart instead of what I say. Instead of my orders, he's looking to my heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this in the Hadith Qudsi. My servant then draws nearer to me when he starts performing actions that are not obligation. Then step by step he becomes so close to me that I will become his eyes that he sees, his tongue that he talks, his ears that he hears, his hands that he touches, his feet that he walks. I will dress him with Rabbaniyat. Once you start doing that, Allah says, I will dress him with lordly powers. Understand? That hadith continues, but I cannot finish that hadith because so many not ready. And they're going to say, what is this? He's talking shirk. So, once you start doing that, you start your senses, you start seeing, talking, feeling things differently, then you say, you start building a connection now to the hereafter. Because the veil is lifted from you. What I mean by that, the veil is lifted from you. Well, you know, you grow up, you like to eat burgers. Eating burgers, eating pizza. But then you say, wait, instead of just being the consumer, I want to see how it is being a producer. Then you discover that the things that you eat, the meat that you've been eating has been frozen for over 20 years, for example, by things that has been filled with growth hormones and antibiotics. So the veil is lifted. You understand? You're not just yum, 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 eating senselessly. You start saying, what is it I'm eating? You start asking the question, what is it? And who are these people that's making it? So veils start lifting from you. You stop being an animal. Then that's when you say, oh, you start making some decisions by yourself. You understand? So then, when you start being with the people of Akhirat, being with them, praying with them, sitting with them, serving them, like they're saying, if you put two roses together, the colors start taking from each other. That's what Allah is saying. Be with the salihin. He didn't say be salihin. He didn't say be righteous. He says be with the righteous. Because it's very difficult to become a righteous person. And Allah in His generosity, in His mercy, is saying just be with them. Sit with them. Because you just being sitting with them, that divine mercy that falls, it falls on you too. Maybe a whole day you didn't do nothing, whole week you didn't do nothing. You do all sorts of wrong things. But you say, let me come to the Dergah. At least I can say I did one thing this week, saying some zikr. Although I did nothing, but I say, never mind. I feel ashamed. This is another trick. Shaitan is going to say, why are you going? You didn't do nothing. Stay away from that. No. The only thing that wants you to stay away from zikr and namaz is shaitan, is not Rahman. So you say, let me just sit there. You sit there. Who knows, in that group of people, there is one wali. There is one friend of Allah. There is one beloved one of Allah. We don't know who it is. And that one, for his sake, because he lifts his hand and he says, Ameen, Allah grants him because of that. So now there is great mercy being in Jamaat, as there is great curse being in the wrong Jamaat. You're a good person, but you happen to be in the wrong crowd, wrong place, wrong time. They don't look to that. You happen to be in the wrong place, wrong crowd. The curse coming, it happens. You fall to the wayside too. You understand? So, slowly, our way, it is a subtle way. Our way is not, I give you a dua, I give you a salawat, some lights you're going to see, everything is going to change. No. Dajjal is going to do that to you people. Offer them things like that. Anyway, as much is enough. Fatiha. Amen.